Okay, well, as soon as this episode of One Piece began, I was immediately excited because it was Luffy already in the palace, beating through people, and then Kinemon and the little Tontatta girl just leave for the toy house, and immediately as soon as they go, Luffy, Zoro, and Violet get into this hallway, the lights go out. I mean, all the candles just blow out one by one, like, and I immediately think he's like, oh shit. In any show or video game, as soon as the lights do that, shit's about to go down. Just like, it's getting dark. Get you ready your weapons. Like, oh damn. And it comes Pica. He just like, boom, like made out of stone, like coming out of the wall, or he is the wall. And he's just this giant stone monster. He's like, he doesn't even speak. And he looks terrifying. This whole scene looks terrifying. It's just like, oh damn, we're gonna die. And it's revealed that he's the stone assimilation man, meaning it doesn't matter what kind of stone it is, if it's a rock or a stone, a brick of any kind, he can become it and control it to some extent. So he's essentially the entire palace, and that's terrifying in itself. But either way, Luffy comes in with Jet Gatling, of course, breaking apart the first golem, but then here comes the second one, and then smashing the wall against them. And I know they're not dead, but I mean, it's still like, holy shit, how are they gonna get past this guy? He is just unbeatable. Unless you find the real body, he's technically unbeatable. He can just keep coming up with more and more golems. But either way, that scene ends, and it goes over to Franky versus Senor Pink. Or it's really just Franky versus the Navy. And throughout the whole time, Senor Pink's like, fine, Navy, go ahead, take Franky in if you want. And the Navy's gonna put up a good fight against Franky, but of course, they're useless. It's like, rocket launcher, and like, you got nothing on me. Then they bring out these new weapons, like bring out the new rocket launchers or new bazookas. And apparently these things, don't just blast the enemy, they actually set them on fire. I don't really know how that would work, but okay. And of course, Franky plays along. It's like, oh no, and he falls, but he's just like, I'm just joking with you guys. Just blast you again. It's like, ugh. Good old Franky. And I like how Senor Pink is just watching this the entire time, and he's watching Franky just not give a shit about these Navy guys, and just take them all down. And when it ends, like with him smiling, all I kept thinking was like, oh, Franky, you got Senor Pink's approval. He respects you now. So Senor Pink clearly sees Franky as an equal. He's just as gutsy and manly as he is. It's like, finally, I've been waiting for an opponent who's just as cool as me, and here he is. It's like, yeah, the two coolest guys in both crews just going up against each other. It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be awesome. But then we go to back to the toy house, and we see Cavendish, and he's turned into a toy by Sugar, and it is terrifying to see someone as amazing as Cavendish just immediately turn into a slave of sorts. It's terrifying. I mean, my God. And of course, then comes in Usopp and Robin and all the Tontattas ready to sneak into the toy house and take out Sugar and set free the entire nation. And the plan was this grape that's actually made out of some kind of chili sauce. It's like the hottest chili in the world, or at least that's what they claim. And they say that it's so hot that when we tested it with our own brothers and sisters, most of them fell unconscious, and in fact 18 of them almost died. It's like, yeah, it's like, you guys are so happy about that, damn. And that's what's gonna work. And I'm thinking, like, I know between anime and real life there are gonna be some differences between the physics, but I don't know. I think the whole idea of, they're small, so they're susceptible to poisons and toxins and chili a lot more than bigger people. So maybe it won't really kill her or knock her unconscious as much as it did to you guys. But again, maybe it will. I don't know. But of course, the entire time he's saying, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this, and the whole nation's going to be free. And the Tontatta's constantly back there. It's like, yeah, yeah. And Usopp kept saying, shut up, saying, you're being too loud. And even I'm agreeing. It's like, yeah, shut up and just do it already. You're giving them more of an opportunity to catch you and ruin the whole plan. And Then finally it just ends with Usopp just screaming. He's like, "Oh, you guys are being too loud." It's like, oh my god, I agree with what you're saying, but even you're getting into it. It's like, all of you shut up, be quiet, and just enact the plan already. But either way, yeah, the first part with Luffy versus Pica was awesome and terrifying because Pica looks like a monster. And then Senor Pink, and realizing how awesome Franky is, like, I got my equal now. Like, all right, we're gonna fight. And it's gonna be awesome. It's just like, oh, it's gonna be epic. I just know it is. Two manly men who don't give a damn about what other people think about them. It's it's gonna just rock the whole land. It's like, yeah. And of course the Tonttattas just being their usual careless selves. But either way, this was a good episode. It was a lot of fun. And I will say Treble is still just as disgusting as ever. Seeing the snot wiggle back and forth, and it's just like, oh, please, someone wipe his nose or have him blow on something. Maybe it's part of his devil fruit, that he can't control the snot coming out of him. It's like, even if he blows his nose, it just keeps coming back. If so, that would be horrible to have. It's like, oh, what's the point of your this slime anyway? You trap people, sure, but ultimately you're gonna be disgusting your entire life. But either way, this was a fun episode, great action, and really a whole lot of fun. I just had fun the entire time I was watching. So hopefully the next one we get more progression with Tonttattas and their plan to knock out Sugar. Hopefully we head back to Sabo versus the rest of the people in the tournament, the Coliseum. Maybe him versus Burgess or him versus Diamante. Someone has to fight. And more progression with Luffy versus Pica. They get past him or something. Or maybe Zoro has to take on Pica while Luffy goes on ahead to take on Don Flamingo. And definitely, I'm looking forward to Franky versus Senor Pink. That fight is going to be my favorite. I'm just assuming because these two are just amazing. And really, I mean, I expect nothing less from them. So until then, I'm Tony Dragon, and bye-bye.